How's it going today, guys? I'm back today to do another video talking about the items that I have within my studio. And if you can't already tell what I'm going to talk about by the amazingly stylish, striking, aesthetically pleasing sweatshirt that I'm wearing, I'm going to be talking about the 50 Cent book that I have up, and I'm also going to discuss the Russ book that I have on the wall. So let's get to it. So I'm going to start by talking about this 50 Cent book. It is called Playground. I'm going to be completely honest with you that I have never read this book. I bought it solely for the fact because it is a signed book, and I did not have any other signed 50 Cent items, so that's why I have this specific book in the studio. You may be asking yourself, it may not be the most PC question, and I may not give you the most PC answer, but you may be asking yourself, Sutton, you're a white kid from Greendale, Wisconsin. I've seen the other shit that you've been talking about. Why is 50 Cent so instrumental to you that you have an item of his in your studio? Well, growing up, I was just an absolutely avid rap fan. I'm not sure what it was about the genre, or really what it was that got me initially into it. It was probably the egos, the bravados, and I truly thought that, I just thought the rappers were super freaking cool and loved the images and loved the videos and all of that stuff that went along with it. And to me, nobody from the late 90s, the early to mid 2000s generation did rap music better than 50 Cent. Literally, 50 Cent is my favorite rapper of all time. I bought Get Rich or Die Trying, which is his debut album. For those of you that don't know and have been living under a rock forever, I bought that album the day it came out. I think I was in first or second grade. Yeah, I had a pretty cool dad, I suppose, who didn't ask questions and just bought me the record. I mean, that album literally, like, fundamentally set the foundation for who I was. Ignited my love and passion that I have for music that I still carry and burns strong as ever to this day. It was the first album that I ever, like, front to back listened to and really got into a body of work, got into, loving an artist and following an artist's trajectory and stuff and their career, and it fundamentally really changed my life. I mean, at that age, I would literally, go home every day from school and watch 106 in Park. I'd watch Rap City every night and all the top 20 countdowns and all that stuff. 50 Cent was really the, foundation for me getting into that. You can have your own opinions, and that's fine, but if your opinion differs from this, you're wrong. Get Rich or Die Trying is still to this day the greatest rap album of all time. From front to back, 50 Cent's flow, his lyricism, his delivery is just out of this freaking world. It's unmatched. There are no skips on that record. If you haven't listened to that album in a while, go back and listen to it. If you've never listened to that album, absolutely freaking listen to it. And if you don't think it's the greatest rap album of all time, lock yourself in a freaking room for the next however long it takes and just spin that shit from front to back until you understand it, because it is the best rap album. It is the best body of work that has ever been crafted in that genre. Moving on to the Russ book. I started listening to Russ probably 3 or 4 years ago at this point. He hit me at a perfect time in life where I was struggling with my confidence a little bit. Growing up, I was told basically by my teachers, by the school administrators, that I was shit. I was a shit student. I had horrible grades. Rightfully so. I mean, I was a shit student, but I didn't have a whole lot of admiration, acceptance, and respect from my peers and, the people that you want to have, acceptance and buy-in from, as you're going through your high school and formative years. Professors told me I was dog shit and stuff like that, and so all of that stuff. So my confidence was a little bit, on the rocks, I suppose. I should say I was coming out of that a little bit. That was kind of foundationally and fundamentally how I thrust myself into building my company or starting my career and all of that stuff. People were telling me that I wasn't doing things right. I should put more focus on school. I should put more energy. Everyone else's outside opinions, this and that. When I first got introduced to Russ's music was when I was kind of breaking out of that period of my life in a weird way. That was kind of at that point, due to his latest release, which is Really a Wolf, was kind of his breaking out moment as well in his career, where he had put out, all of these albums and put in all this work, put out all these singles. I just saw a lot of parallels between, where we were kind of hitting in our careers. I was just getting into, completely different careers and stories and levels to this shit. I just really resonated with it. I was getting into my first CFO role. I was getting, starting to grow the company for the first time and all that stuff. Really, his work ethic, confidence, once again, I'll use ego, bravado, really just resonated with me. He really is, in my opinion, the king of DIY, the king of believing in yourself. He is the epitome of self-confidence and basically seeing to it that you achieve your dreams. Yeah, I'm a huge, huge fan. I actually had the opportunity to meet him a couple weeks back.
Yeah, I think what's up. I'm a huge fucking fan, man.
Thanks, man.
Meet you, absolutely.
Cool. What's your name?
Sutton.
Sutton. Yeah, it's good to meet you.
Absolutely, man. You're an inspiration.
Thanks,
I read the book, the music.
Wow,
I'm a huge,
okay.
huge fan, man. Sorry, I'm really not trying to fit in.
No, that's all good. I appreciate that.
Trying to be as cool as possible without it.
I appreciate it.
Certainly a pleasure.
Thanks.
Which was awesome, for a very short time, but got to be around, him doing some press for a few hours, and they say never meet, people you admire, this and that, and couldn't be further from the truth. Seemed like just a super humbled, which may not be a word that many people use to describe him, but I think it's incorrectly so. Just a super cool individual, in my opinion. His music is truly unmatched. I actually have read this book. This book is tremendous. I think if you're someone who, is struggling with purpose or struggling with confidence or is just trying to, find their own way, I highly recommend the book. If you're someone that is just looking for someone that you can, kind of mirror a work ethic to really show all that needs to go in to see to it that, you can actually reach and achieve your dreams. Russ has written the fucking blueprint on that. He's truly, I would say the GOAT of this generation. I think he's a guy who's tremendously underappreciated. I don't think he gets his roses nearly enough. The guy's still just consistently putting out outstanding work. I absolutely adore 50 Cent. Obviously, I've spoken through that. Get Rich or Die Trying is a masterpiece. The Massacre is a phenomenal album. Curtis was okay, and then after that, there's not a whole lot that was left. His music, in my opinion, I still love some songs here and there, but those albums are so, so much greater than everything else that I can't say that today, 50 Cent's my favorite rapper today. Favorite rapper of all time, yes. 1A and 1B, 50 Cent and Russ now for me. Russ, to me, is kind of the opposite of what I just described with 50 Cent. In my opinion, and this is the only negative thing, and it's not even a negative that you'll hear me say about Russ, I don't think he has, I love There's Really a Wolf, I love Zoo, I love all of his bodies of work, actually, for that matter, Shake the Snow Globe, and actually I even dive into the older stuff as well. I don't think he, yet, has that Get Rich or Die Trying album, where it's like this bigger-than-life album, but he's also the king of consistency, where everything he puts out is literally a smash. And I'm not even on some fanboy shit. I can't stress that enough. I'll genuinely call out a bad song. I have no issue doing with 50 Cent. I have no issue doing it with any of these artists that are on my wall. Pretty unbiased when it comes to music. Russ just doesn't fucking miss. He just doesn't miss people. His story is just as good as the music. And yeah, if you haven't checked him out, get out from the fucking rock you're under, because he's been here. He's going to be here, and he's just going to continue blowing the fuck up. That's the background of these two items that are on my wall. Yeah, basically my two favorite rappers. I would say the two people that have tremendously impacted my life as it stands today. Thank you so much for watching. I would love some of your opinions on this sweatshirt before I go, because I think I look fresh as hell in this thing. You know how difficult it is to find a G-Unit sweatshirt in this condition, in your size, 20 years after they came out? This sweatshirt is fucking fire, people. But everyone in my circle, everyone around me, which maybe this is is that reason to cut people off, that they tell me that this isn't dope, that this isn't one of the most fresh pieces of clothing anyone can ever have? I think it's the coolest piece of clothing I have, but
think I got my swagger back. Oh.
Let me know in the comments if you think, I should be rocking this almost every other day at this point, because, I just feel on top of the world in this thing. And I think I look pretty fresh too, but maybe I'm just in my bag. Thank you for watching. I look forward to talking with you all again soon, and have a great rest of your day today, guys.